Hi, my name is Jordy Yack. I'm the Communications Coordinator here at the FirstOntario Performing Arts Centre, and I'm going to get into January's hot ticket concerts coming up. So to get things started, for January, we are very excited to host 3 Niagara artists at the Centre for the month of January, starting with the Mark Lalama Trio and the Here Here Niagara Music Series, as well as one of Canada's oldest theatre companies for young audiences, Carousel Players, and a fairly new theatre company from St. Catharines made up of Brock theatre alumni and current students, Twitches and Itches Theatre. I had a chance earlier to talk to Mark Lalama from the Mark Lalama Trio, who's the band leader for the Here Here Music Series that happens pretty much every month here at the Centre, and he gave us some insight about the upcoming performances.
You know, I grew up playing music in weddings, like bars, concert halls, and I found as a musician, when you're playing in a small venue like a bar, a neighborhood bar, there's so much musical freedom. So, but the problem with that is that half the people that come to the bar don't necessarily want to hear the band, so they're talking, and you know, there's the people that are sorry about that, the people that are there to hear the band, they get annoyed with the people that are not there to hear the band. So I suggested to Deb Slade back when the Brock Centre for the Arts was happening, I said, we should have a series where it's small and intimate, but you know, it attracts people who want to see the music, right? But it's small like a bar that you get up really close and check out what they're doing, you know, and it gives the musicians this kind of intimacy. They can set up close, right? So it's a win-win for the audience as well as the performers. So she said, yeah, I think it's a great idea. Let's just wait until the new center opens up. So basically what happens is it's a Sunday afternoon. I love those afternoon slots to play music. It's a 4 p.m. time slot. My trio, myself, Davide Lorenzo, and Rich Moore, we're the house band and featured performer. So we start the show, we play a few songs, 3 or 4 songs, and then we call up a Niagara artist, someone who maybe has never had the opportunity to play with full PA, lights, you know, an attentive audience, and a killer house band, you know. So that's what happens in the first half. We take an intermission. My trio comes on again, and then we invite an international artist, someone who's a Canadian artist who's had international acclaim. It's been amazing because every show has sold out in advance, and there's always standing ovations.
So the Film House will continue in January with 12 plus screenings a week. These screenings include documentaries, classic cinema, and our music series called See the Music will continue on Saturday evenings at 9:30 p.m. We also have a handful of first-run features, including what some critics are calling the best film of 2016, Moonlight, and we're very excited to be bringing that back. And then come February, we'll be announcing some Oscar-nominated films once the Academy decides what those films are. Country music sensation and Grammy Award nominee Leanne Womack will perform in Partridge Hall in January. We also have some comedy in January. CBC's This Is That perform live in Partridge Hall. Now, they're known for a satirical news show where they don't just talk about the news, but they completely fabricate it. And of course, like I mentioned at the top, Twitches and Itches Theatre present an adaptation of the Greek play The Bacchae. Now, this play was very much ahead of its time, talking about all sorts of issues that deal with politics and really can be tied into the current political spectrum that's happening with Brexit and Donald Trump's rise to power. One of Canada's longest-running theatre companies for young audiences, Carousel Players, returns in Robertson Theatre this year with a play called The Tick. And this play is great for kids aged 8 and up. Some Enchanted Evening finds 5 of Canada's most acclaimed singers celebrating 150 years of musical theatre and operetta in Canada. This performance is led by Canada's most prominent tenor and CBC radio host Ben Hepner. And finally, we have Grammy Award-winning Tex-Mex band Los Lobos. They blew up on the rock and roll scene in the 80s with their Richie Valens cover of La Bamba. Hope to see you here at the Centre.